Meghan and Harry have just announced that they're going to launch their own awards that look to me like a direct copy of the Queen's gongs. This is really strange. In the past, March 18th, 2019, Queen Elizabeth II reportedly vetoed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's request to form their own court. It literally looks to me like Meghan and Harry, Meghan especially, are trying to be the Queen and King of the United States. Let's look at these gongs, because a narcissist will do an exact copy. Okay, the awards will run alongside the Queen's own gongs, which include knighthoods, CBEs, OBEs, and MBEs. Meghan and Harry's awards will focus specifically on standout players in particular fields, court documents from the Sun reveal. Meghan and Harry's rewards will include charitable service, education, science, literature, racial justice, gender equality, environmental stewardship, youth empowerment, health, and mental health. And they'll do this through the Archwell Foundation. People are calling this the Woke Awards. I don't think that's what Meghan and Harry are calling it, but that's not nice to call it the Woke Awards. People are saying nasty things about it. Piers Morgan, for instance, he blasts Meghan and Harry's vain celebrity BS as he lavishes praise on William and Kate for doing their trip. So let's look at the Queen's gongs, and what are they? The two most senior gongs are the Companion of Honor and Knighthoods or Damehoods. The Companion of Honor is awarded for major contribution to the arts, science, medicine, or government lasting over a long period of time. Knighthoods or Damehoods are given to those who've made a major contribution in any activity. Sir Elton John, for instance. The Commander of the Order of the British Empire is given to people who play a prominent role nationally or a leading role regionally. CBEs can also be awarded for people who excel in one particular field. The OBE, the Order of the British Empire, recognizes outstanding contributions at a local level. The MBE, the Member of the Order of the British Empire, focuses on community contributions which have a long-lasting and significant effect and are inspirational to others. It really looks to me like Harry and Meghan are setting up their own royal court. They are, through craft and guile, artificially proclaiming themselves King and Queen of America, and they're just simply acting like it. It's a fake it until you make it moment. And this says to me that the Queen really has no choice but to either forbid them to use their titles come March 31st, the one-year review, or strip them of their titles entirely. It's a very bad situation for Harry, who needs that title because that's all he is.
Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. So, Meghan and Harry seem to be trying to build their own royal court. Okay, and this has been going on since before they left. And the Queen is, putting the kibosh on it. This is the melanated Mona. Okay, Beyonce and Jay-Z are declaring Meghan the melanated Mona, a queen. She's, that's a pic of her as a queen. And apparently this has been Meghan's plan all along. This is very insidious, very, very aggressive, and just completely destructive to the monarchy. I'm shocked that Harry would go along with this, because Harry has been a royal family member all his life, and Meghan is trying to set up her own monarchy, her own false monarchy. She doesn't have a right to do this. There is no king and queen in America, and she's trying to set herself up as the Queen of America, and Harry as the king and queen of America. I seriously wonder if Harry has fallen for this. But the Queen has to put a stop to this illegitimate. I mean, if you read the Bible, there's always, near the end, at the death of a king, there's always several people who will declare themselves king. And this happened to Solomon. When David was old, one of David's sons declared himself to be king, and then Solomon had to very quickly declare himself to be king, and then David had to get behind Solomon and say, "No, I choose Solomon, my son, to be king." And then Solomon went and put to death all the other folks involved in the false kingdom. That's just how it goes. That's how these things go. So it was her plan to build her own royal court and sort of establish herself as queen all along. Let's look at that. I mean, was that the plan? Because so insidious. There's Meghan in the middle. Devil crossing. Boy, that's interesting. Yes. No. All right. Was this Meghan's plan to sort of establish her own royal court all along? Because she asked for this with the Queen. Meghan is right in the middle. So this is all Meghan's plans. Devil, she'll do anything. 23 and 6, 29, 8 hearts. She wants to transform this situation. 8 hearts is also a great lying card. Water into wine. Water is not wine. Declaring herself queen when she's not. Due to her relationship. Due to her relationship, she has evil plans that only benefit her. And interestingly, this definitely does not benefit Harry. She's kind of doing it all in Harry's name. She's standing behind Harry. He's the legitimacy to her claim. She married into the royal family. And without him, she has nothing. So she has to use him until she gets what she wants. So this devil is really bad. It goes directly against the British royal family, all of them. It goes against Harry. It only benefits Harry. And then we have yes and no. From the beginning, this was her plan, and she was shot down. The Queen said, "No, you must be crazy." Cut. Okay. 6 spades and karmic shift. Bad relationship and a big change, and cut from the royal family. Roadblock and man. Big problem. This can be man can be direct action or Harry. This is clearly Meghan. Could be Harry. A problem for the man or direct action blocked. I think this is direct action blocked. So all of this backstabbing and sneaking around just created a terrible environment, and they left. Let's ask if Harry, is this what Harry wants? Okay, Harry's like, oh yeah, we're going to declare ourselves king and queen. Or he's just along for the ride like, yeah, I don't know, whatever Meghan wants, I can't stop her. I mean, I can't stop her from doing anything. So is Harry on board? He's like, yeah, I want to be king. Or he's just along for the ride like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Let's see, is Harry on board? Manifesting sweet messages. So, manifesting these, she's couching it in the right terms. 2 spades, 4 spades. She doesn't care what he says or thinks. She just doesn't care. 6 and 4, 10, 23, 6 clubs. She tells him whatever he needs to hear, and he's just not involved. In the middle is, so she's very clever. She's very clever. I think she speaks in emotional terms. She always couches everything in emotional words. And so that doesn't really mean much because those words are not specific. And whenever anybody speaks to me in words that are very not specific, because I'm used to working with lawyers and engineers, and they're very, very specific. Whenever anybody speaks to me in words that are very not specific and emotional, that's a huge red flag, and I don't believe anything they say. And I think that's how Meghan speaks. She speaks like a used car salesman. She's always talking in emotional terms, and you can't really pin her down that that means that or this means that. You can't, and she'll always change it. Very shifty, and that's what I think she's doing to Harry. Here in the middle, we have the fox, so that's probably Meghan. 3 blackbirds, Mercury, 12 and 12, 24, 6 spades. Talking, very cleverly planning and talking. Yeah, so is Harry along for the ride? Meghan is just, she does whatever she wants. We have the 2 manifesting cards. Fox, Queen of Diamonds and King of Diamonds, these are the 2 manifesting cards. Moving the pieces around and direct action. Okay, King of Diamonds is direct action. This is more indirect action. She has it all. She has the whole package of indirect action and direct action. So I just think she's got her game on too good. I don't want to say smart because it's not that kind of smart. It's like a fox smart. It's like a snake smart. It's clever. It's like street smart. She has really high level of street smarts and craftiness, which is not like, I went to school and, she went to school and she has this body of knowledge that she applies. She's just very, very clever in a very underhanded way, and she really plays a very tight game. So they've got these woke awards, and this looks like a straight copy of the Queen's Gong, straight copy, and a narcissist will do a straight copy. Okay, one time I was out walking on the beach. I was living in Florida, and I heard this buzzing. It was a drone flying over my head, and I'm just walking along the beach on the boardwalk. Well, there was a guy flying this drone, and I went up and I chatted with him for just a minute, and other people went up and chatted with him. He was a straight copy of Casey Neistat, just a straight-up copy. I think he went up to New York and took training, and he was doing everything exactly like Casey Neistat, but in Florida, on this beach in Florida, with no difference at all. And just YouTubing and trying to an exact replica of Casey Neistat and not doing anything different at all. And that's what narcissists do. So is these woke awards, is this a straight copy of the Queen's Gongs? Or is there is it just a straight copy? Meghan, because I want to see how different it is. Meghan and the Queen's Gongs. How similar? Is it just a straight copy? Going to be interesting to read those cards. Is this a straight copy? Finger of God, outside, influence, this direction. 14, 27. Executioner. Executioner has a master plan. Okay, the furthest planning cards are Executioner and Snake. And they're both here. So, a master plan from outside, executing into the future, cross, 777. This is what she's always doing. Sevens return eternally. So she's always doing this. She's always taking, she's a huge, she's always quoting other people and taking credit for it and not giving them credit. This is what she's always doing. She's always taking other people's ideas and making them their own. She's creating a separate court and saying, oh, now I'm queen. What's up with on the royal side? Is this a straight copy of the Queen's Gongs? On an ongoing basis, associated with the royal family, 9 and 12, 21, 6 hearts, because of the family, and deeply embedded and rooted in the family. I would say that not only is this a straight copy, this is what Meghan is doing all the time. Meghan is a narcissist. I think she's a narcissist, and she's always just making copies. She's taking other people's ideas, other people's quotes, and calling them her own. And this is what she's doing all the time. And she doesn't add new stuff to it. She doesn't make it her own. What's underneath? Ruler and hand in hand. Many people, 13 and 6, 19, a decision to do this thing. Just take charge and do this thing. So it's all a straight copy for Meghan. And this is what she's always doing. It's interesting how these cards read. It's always a copy for Meghan. Will these awards take off? Because Meghan and Harry, they launch a lot of things that go nowhere. And that's not uncommon. I forget, I don't know the percentages. X number of businesses fail within the first 3 years, something like 90% of new business, 70%, 80%, 90% of new businesses fail within the first 3 years. Well, that's people starting something, great idea, and then it just doesn't get enough business to make it profitable. That's pretty common. And we see Meghan and Harry doing this a lot. They try this, they try that, they just try whatever, and they launch it, and there's a big bunch of fanfare, and then you never hear about it again. Well, those are just fails. They tried this and it didn't work out, so they move on. Are the woke awards, are they going to take off? Do they have legs, or are they just we're just going to forget about them a year from now? We're not going to hear about them anymore. Are they going to take off? Are the woke awards going to take off? Oh boy. Okay, good intentions, officially good intentions, 24, 6 spades, but really behind it all is selfishness. So an opportunity, official opportunity, and they're just couching it in the nicest possible terms, but behind it is just selfishness, 6 spades, selfishness and envy and copying and plagiarism. What's underneath? Strength, cast out, scapegoat, and earthquake. 10 spades is a bad ending. 19, 29, 8 hearts. 8s are everything. It doesn't really go anywhere. I say it doesn't go anywhere. It's launched with all the good intentions, but on the surface, it's all good intentions, love, love, love. We just want to award the good, right people and shine a light on the right projects, which literally is all the royals do. They shine a light on things that they approve of and get the public to pay attention, and then money pours into those things. That's what they do. So awards is just another way to do that. So on the surface, it's all very nice, but it's really selfish. And it's for Meghan and Harry, it's not really going to go anywhere because they're not legit. They're not legitimate royals. I find this particularly interesting. I find this setting up her own royal court as this is really a big deal. And she was doing this all along. And this is why we're watching them, because there's so much going on under the surface. And this is really huge. So was it her plan to build a royal court all along? Yes. And she was stopped, and she will do, it's just, she's the devil. And the Antichrist, and I'm not comparing Meghan to the Antichrist, but when the Antichrist comes, he will rise up, he will attain power through the back door. He's just like a nobody, and then suddenly he's everything. Suddenly he's running the whole world. And everybody's like, how in the world did that happen? That's kind of what she's up to here. She's kind of sneaking in the back door and proclaiming herself queen. And she intended this all along. And the royal family is shutting her down. And this would be a huge problem for the queen and the royal family. And it created a lot of conflict. Okay, and so then I asked, is Harry on board, or is he just following along? Meghan is manifesting all of this, and there's just nothing Harry can do. Harry feels helpless. He's outmatched. He's outmatched, and she's never going to admit what she's doing. She's sleeping in the bed next to him, and she's not even going to tell him what's really on her mind or what she's really doing. And she's actually playing against him. And all of this is very bad for Harry. If Harry doesn't go back to the royal family before he does too much damage, it's over for him. He's not even going to be, there's going to be no more Harry almost. I think there's always another chance, but his chances, the door is closing and closing and closing for Harry, and it's getting worse and worse and worse for Harry. Is this a straight copy? The woke awards versus the Queen's gongs. It is a straight copy. That is literally all Meghan ever does. The 777. Okay, it just returns endlessly. This is how she gets through life, by stealing other people's ideas. And this says the Queen's gongs are very deeply embedded in who the royals are. Will it take off? No. All the best intentions, it's not going to take off. We got 8 spades and 10 spades, and the rooting, it's just not going to get anywhere. It's not going to be embraced by the public. It's not going to be promoted with a lot of excitement, because behind it it's not legitimate. They are not legitimate monarchs outside of England. They only have legitimacy within the royal family. So they just can't really do it. And so it makes me think of the Hollywood Awards. There's so many Hollywood Awards shows, and this is actually how they started. Think about this, okay? But the Hollywood, they do have legitimacy because these are the people who make the movies. These are the people who create them, write them, produce them, act in them. Nobody knows more about the movie business than the people giving out the awards to the movie makers. So they have legitimacy. Who else is going to do it? You know, this is kind of how things are done. She's actually, she's wicked smart. You know, she does see how things really work and how it's all just a big facade, and she can just pretend anyway. But it doesn't always work out. And this time I think it's not going to work out for Meghan and Harry. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the very generous folks who support me and buy me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.